number of DTCs, that matches a client defined status mask. So using this subfunction, 19 service, we can able to, that means client can able to retrieve how many DTCs are stored in the server whose status byte is as per request. Okay, did you got me? So let's say client wants to retrieve number of DTCs whose status mask is, let's say, 0x01. Okay, let's say clients want to retrieve whose status mask is 0x01. How many numbers of DTCs which are stored in the server memory whose status mask is 0x01. Okay, client is going to send request 03 19 service 01 subfunction, and its status mask is also 01, right? Now, this is the subfunction to retrieve how many numbers of DTCs are stored. Now, tell me how many numbers of DTCs are stored here? Okay, 3 DTCs, right? But I want to check whose status byte is masked with 01. Okay. Now, how many DTCs whose status byte is 01 is stored? See here, for this DTC, byte 0 is 1. For this DTC also, byte 0 is 1. But for this DTC, byte 0 is 0, right? Yes, na? Guys? Not understood. Good. At least you told. See, this status mask is requested by the client to check which DTC is matching the status mask. Okay. Simply what we'll do, once this request is sent by the client to the server, server will perform AND operation. Okay. And with the status mask. Here status mask is 0x01. Now, if we'll do AND for this, what will be the result? Guys, the result will be, right? Yes, na? Now for this, also it will perform AND operation 01. So what will be the outcome? Right? Guys? Yes or no? And for this also, it will perform AND operation with the status mask. Here also, is it correct? Guys? Okay. Now, which all are non-zero values? These two, right? Yes or no? Guys, are you able to understand? Once this mask means client is requesting how many numbers of DTCs are stored in the memory whose status mask is 01. That means whose bit 0 of status byte is 1. Understood? So using this status mask, client requested how many numbers of DTCs, because 01 means give a number of DTCs, okay? And this by status mask will give whose bit 0 is set to true. I just want to know how many DTCs are there whose bit 0 is true. Status byte bit 0 is true. So once the request is made, simply the server will check how many numbers of BTCs are there, 3. But now I need to check which all are having mask 01. Then simply it will perform AND operation here. AND operation 0x01 with status byte. Okay. Here also it will do AND operation 0x01 with status of this DTC. Here also it will perform AND operation. Understood? Are you getting, guys? Guys, are you getting this? Same thing I did in binary. Okay. So if after performing this 0x01 AND operation, if the output is 00, then the counter will remain at 0. Now here with the second DTC again will perform AND operation. Now the outcome is not equal to 0. Then the counter will increment equal to 1. Now again, third DTC, it will perform AND operation and the output is non-zero. Then counter will increment by 1. Counter equal to 1 plus 1. Understood? Then with the positive response, it will give, we have the two DTCs whose status mask is 01. Guys, did you got me? Are you with me? Correct now? What about others? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Anyone, any doubt? See, feel free. If let's say out of you, one person also didn't understood, feel free to ask me again. Okay. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's say if the status mask is FF, then what will happen? Tell me. So here it will perform and with FF. So what will be the outcome? Right? Correct now? Guys, what will be the outcome? Right? Guys, are you able to understand? Okay. Now all these three values are non-zero. Okay. So if clients want to request, if any bit of a status byte is set to true, then it will send request as FF. Then the masking will be done with FF. That means if any bit of a status byte is true, it will consider. The server will consider that. So here counter will become 1 because this is non-zero value, right? Here counter will become plus 1 equal to 2. Here counter will become plus 1 equal to 3. Now for this positive response, server will send 3 DTCs are stored in the memory whose status mask is FF. Got it, guys? Guys, have you understood? Hello? Understood now? So simply this is the masking value, okay? Client is requesting mask with FF, the current status byte, and check. If it is, let's say, 0x08. 08 means we are checking for confirm bit, whether the confirm bit 3 is set to true or not. Okay? So it will do masking with 08. Will mask with 08. Will mask with 08. Okay? Understood? So if it will mask with 08, this will become 00. Guys, are you getting me? So if we'll do AND, here it will be understood. Here 1 1. So the same will come. Here also these two are non-zero value. So the count will be, here count will be 0 only, here count will be 1, here count will be 2. Understood? Guys, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this 0 1 sub function, what it will do, it will give how many numbers of DTCs are stored in the server whose status mask is this, as per the request by the client. Okay. Is it clear? So the request will be of 3 bytes. Okay. The first byte will be, is my screen visible, right? PPT.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the first byte of request will be read TTC information request service ID. That is 0x19. Okay. 19 service. The second byte will be sub function. So which sub function we are going to send? So what sub function here we are using? 0x01 report number of DTC by status mask. Okay. So here the sub function is used as 0x01. Okay. And the third byte is DTC status mask. So which mask client want to consider, this DTC status mask will be sent. This can be from 00 to FF. If client wants to read how many DTCs are there whose at least one bit is set to true of the status byte, then the status mask will be FF. Clear? If clients want to read all the DTCs which are stored in the memory, just simple, it will send request as FF. Understood, guys? Clear now? So yeah. So if clients want to retrieve how many DTCs are stored in the server's memory, irrespective of status byte, it will send mask value as FF. Okay. So FF means if any bit of the DTC status is set to true, it will consider it. So if we'll send FF, then all three will be considered. Okay, because all these three are stored in the memory. But if you will check for 0x08, then only it will consider two DTCs. Understood? So if client want to retrieve how many total number of DTCs which are stored in the memory, all DTCs, then simple mask client will send as FF. Okay, here now. Now we'll go to positive response. Okay, so this positive response consists of 6 bytes. Just make a note. Everything, are you writing note, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is for positive response for subfunction 0x01. So positive response consists of 6 bytes. First byte will be read TTC information response service ID. Okay. Positive response service ID. So for 19, if we'll add 40, it will be 59. Okay. Second byte is subfunction, report type. So here report type is 01. Right, guys? Correct now? Guys, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Third byte is DTC status availability mask. Okay. What does this mean? DTC status availability mask. Now, I'll go to pen. Let's say for this project, for DTCs, we doesn't have FF. We are not using all byte, all status bits we are not using for current project. Let's say we are not considering pending DTCs. Okay. So let's say we are not considering pending DTCs is this one, right? Guys, are you able to understand me? What does this DTC availability mask means? Okay. So let's say in our project, these 8 bits are there of status byte. And in our project, we are not using this. This we are not using. Okay. And let's say we are not using even this. Okay. These 2 bits we are not using for our project. So now, what will be the maximum status byte of this all 3 DTCs? These 2 will not be considered. So let's say rest remaining is 1. So what will be the maximum status of this byte, guys? E, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Correct now? So the maximum availability mask which can be supported for this project is 0xBB. Okay. If let's say if client is requesting to check for this, okay, client has requested to check for 04. Is it possible to get this? Because 04 is not at all used. Correct now? This bit is not used in the project. Now client cannot request 04. If it will request 04, this bit is not considered for any of the DTCs. Okay. So this will not be considered. Got my point? If client is requesting status mask as 04, but 04 is not used because maximum we can use is 0xBB. Understood? In this 0xBB, these two bits are not considered. These two bits are not used in the project. So client cannot request to check for these two bits. Okay. So this availability mask is BB for current project. So here in the positive response, okay, server will send what is the availability mask of that project. So it will send here BB. So that client will come to know bit 1012 and bit 6 is not considered. Understood? Guys, have you understood? Guys, have you understood this positive response?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then byte 4 is DTC format identifier. So just do remember we are using ISO 14229-1 DTC format. And for this value will be 0x01. Okay. These other formats are used for, these are used for commercial vehicles. Okay. SAE J1939. Okay. These are used for off-road vehicles. Some are industrial format, DTC format. For our passenger vehicles, we are using ISO 14229-1 DTC format, and its value will be 0x01. Always remember, mark and note. Okay, guys. Understood? Guys, have you understood? Yeah. And fifth and sixth byte will be DTC count. If the count is 02, sorry, count is 2, so 0x is 0002. If the count is 3, 0003. If the count is 10, 0008. So this will tell how many DTCs are stored in the server's memory. Understood? Guys, have you understood? Okay. So now we'll go to again. And here DTC availability mask. We'll consider 0x PV. Okay. So now the client has requested 1901, let's say FF. So what will be the positive response? 06. Okay. First byte will be positive response service ID 59. Second byte will be sub function. Correct now? Correct. So what is sub function here? 01. Now third byte, availability mask, right? Guys, DTC status availability mask. So what is the status availability mask for our project? 0xBB, right? Yes, na? And what is the DTC format we are using? ISO 14229-1 DTC format. So what is the value for it? 01. And for FF, how many DTCs are there which will support mask FF? All three this, right? So will be 0003. These 2 bytes will be the count. So 3, right? So this will be the positive response received from the server that for 01 subfunction. How many numbers of DTCs are stored in the memory whose mask is FF? Positive response 59. 01 is the subfunction client has requested. BB is the DTC availability mask which is supported for the project. Okay. 01 is the DTC format we are using 14229-1 DTC format, and this 2 byte is the DTC count. Count here is 3, right? Let's say if the request is made for 08, then what will be the positive response, guys? What will be the positive response? So, count value will be how much? How much? 1 up? 0002. Okay, good. Guys, have you understood this? Okay, good. So next subfunction will start tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow we'll check for 2 subfunctions. Okay. ठीक है ना? This one, any doubt for this subfunction? This week we'll complete UDS. UDS will complete for this week. Okay. Then we'll start CAPL programming. Okay, CAPL script will start, and then panel designing for tools. Okay. So this 19 service, then we have 14 service, then we have 85 service and 31 service. 4 services are pending. This weekend will complete by Sunday. Okay, guys. Yeah. So in any question from 19 service till